Yeah, you already know what time it is. All right, guys. We are back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. And yeah, it's been um uh 3 days since these details dropped. The unit still isn't out. Hey Lamau. Um but we ball though. We still ball though. Um so this Broly has been fairly controversial, I would say, because I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just a Twitter thing, and when he actually releases in game, because I think there is hold on. I think that there is a difference. Um, I think that there is a difference between the people on Dokkan Twitter. You know, you have your roadies, your Allens. Shout out to my goats, your Detruths, right? And the people who, um, actually play the game, right? Um, it's important to note that most of the people who play the game are not actively on Twitter. They might check Twitter occasionally, but they're not. They're definitely not constantly watching YouTube videos or anything like that, right? So they might watch them occasionally, but I don't know. I don't know if you can say the majority of Dokkan Battle players are as entrenched to the game. They just see when the unit comes out, and that is that. That being said, though, I think they will be satisfied with this unit, but I feel like the Twitter folks are not happy. Um, so it's a wrathful Broly. I mean, after the Gogeta Frieza unit, who has his own issues, by the way. I think the Gogeta portion of the card is very good, even at 55%. Frieza, I'm a little less impressed by, especially without his active skill. With his active skill, he's fine, right? But without it, right? And when you use your active skill on Frieza, that means you can't use it on Gogeta, right? Who is the better portion of the card? So, um, Extreme Tech. So this makes every movie Broly. Sorry, each movie that featured Broly, right? All four Broly movies. So you have his original movie, Second Coming, Bio Broly, and DBS Broly. All four of those movies now have a tech Broly from them. So that is quite crazy, actually. They really love their extreme tech Broly units. I think it's aesthetically pleasing because obviously he has the green aura and stuff like that. But anyways, as you can see, Exploding Rage, um, eh, right? Exploding Rage is not really a stellar category right now. Like, okay, if we were to go on Dokkan Info right now, right, and we were to pull him up, I mean, I guess we can since he's here, we can close this and leave him here. Um, so we look at Exploding Rage. Let's open this in a new tab. We look at Exploding Rage, and you look at the leaders first of all, and it's like, yeah, it's slim fucking pickings, right? So we have this guy who's a free to play unit, right? He's 150 stats, you're not using him. Uh, this guy is a banner unit that came out with God Goku for that Saiyan Day. He's a 130, so you're not using him. This guy recently easy aid, right? But you're not using him as a leader, right? You were using him as a leader. And even if you were using him as a leader, you were using him for his other lead, which is the Dragon Ball Saga and Youth, not for Exploding Rage. And then of course you have Beerus, who has fallen off, right? So you're not using him either. So the category did need a new lead, I have to admit. And you take a look at the category, there's some interesting units here. You have obviously Broly himself. You have the Goku and Vegeta, who are very good. Caulifla, who is on there because of the Kale portion of the card. You have this Tech Broly, who I still use. He's still good. Beast Gohan has fallen off a little bit, but if this guy easy ace this year, him plus Beast plus plus these Brolys, I think will make a good team. This Broly, I still use him, but he's not really. If he doesn't crit, he's like doing nothing, right? And I don't think he obviously he has guard, but he just has stats, right? He has no damage reduction or anything like that. So I mean, you can use him to link with this Broly once transformed and this Broly, but I don't think it'll be. I don't. I don't know. It's not something I'm really excited about. So Murasamasu has fallen off, right? Here we come. I mean, this guy, maybe could he easy A this year along with the cooler? That could be interesting. Janemba, eh, he wants to be paired with big bad bosses units, so you won't really use him unless you're running also the tech Janemba, who I don't know, is the tech Janemba on here? The tech transforming Janemba? I'm not seeing him. Guys, am I blind? He's just not here. Okay, so you're not using him there, unfortunately. Obviously, the Gohan we talk about. This Goku, um, he stacks as well. He stacks defense. If we get some new Namek units, like maybe, like if, for example, if this guy here were to super easy A during a Namek celebration, that would be really good. If this guy were to easy A, I mean, he's a big bad bosses unit, but they could make him work as an offensive powerhouse, right? Obviously this guy already has a super easy A, and then you go into SSRs. Um, yeah. Where were we? Yeah. This guy. Um. Hmm? I mean, sure, but you want, as you can see, his stats rely on movie heroes, hybrids, Goku, or youth, which you'll note that Broly doesn't really fulfill. And Broly is obviously a movie boss, so he won't be. And you take a look at how many movie heroes are in the category. Like, okay, we have these two. You have the Beast Gohan and Hybrid Gohan, Ultimate Gohan rather. Um, if this guy Easy A, sure, Beast Gohan I think could be back, right, for a little while. But if not, then you're probably not going to use him, right? Um, the thing I can imagine though is this guy gives damage reduction support, by the way. So if you want to build him, obviously Broly, this guy, the Tech Gohan that I just showed, you could probably do something like that. Um, you don't really want to use this guy because they require full superclass. So obviously, superclass or future. So obviously, if you're running the double Brolys here, that's not happening. So you probably won't want to avoid this guy if you're running him as lead. Um, but yeah, going over the category is really just it's really not much here. It really isn't much here. Like again, if the Ultimate Gohan would easy A, if this guy would easy A, these guys are free to play. If this guy would easy A at some point soon, obviously we're all desperately waiting on the God Goku easy A because actually, although God Goku also requires super class, right? Yeah, he gets this with 6 or more superclass, so he won't be used either. Um, so I mean, unless they change the conditions for his intro animation, I guess they could. If they make this superclass or exploding rage, sure. But they're probably gonna do like superclass or movie heroes, which is a little redundant. But Dokkan would do something like that. So the category is not that good. I like this Broly personally, but I can't really cope for him. He's just not good, right? And of course the Broly, these guys, he doesn't easy A next year. He easy A's the year after because he's year 9, and the following anniversary we will have the year 8 and easy A's. So it'll be not January but next January, and by then who knows if this guy is still gonna be good, right? Speaking of if this guy's still gonna be good, um, linking partners, it really is just him. Could be an okay slot too, I guess. But that's where we start to run into problems. So first of all, this art is fabulous. His animations are fabulous. They really did indeed cook on this guy. I was really well, not really concerned, but I was slightly concerned on how Gogeta and Frieza looked. I think the Frieza's active looks good, and I think his intro is okay, but I think his super attacks are just, they're just whatever. And the Gogeta portions, they look okay, but a lot of it is borrowed from his fifth anniversary counterpart or his ninth anniversary counterpart, which is inevitable when you revisit a character like Gogeta this many times, because you have the AGL Dokkan Fest, who whose animations were redone for the his ninth anniversary variant. Um, and then of course you have the fifth anniversary Gogeta, who again turns blue. So the next time we get a blue Gogeta, a standalone blue Gogeta, I imagine there'll be a lot of used stuff for him as well. Um, so it is tricky. But again, Wrathful Broly is just him, right? And this guy, hold on, let's close these guys. This guy came out in 2019, so immediately after the movie, right? Because the movie was December 2018 in Japan, and I think January of 2019 for global, the U.S. and stuff. So he came out, and not only did he come out immediately, he was an instant easy A. Right? He was an instant easy A. He easy A'd at the same time, which really cucked him. Imagine if he was like this and then he easy A'd, say, for like ninth anniversary or something. He might still have some use here, um, with on this guy's team, but they easy A'd him immediately, which means he's garbage, right? Unusable, right? He's unusable. Um, but they sort of redeem themselves because this guy is really a super Omega jacked version of this guy. So as you can see, he stacks regular stacking, not a greatly stacking. Um, you know, infinite stacks on both is good. Um, 200% leaders. Obviously, he's on the Frieza card, right? He's on this guy's 220, yeah, because he's super bosses. I forgot he was on this guy's 220. Obviously he's on grade 8 power because the Wrathful form is on grade 8 power. So that's another 220. I didn't know he was on this guy's 220. So he's on both 10th anniversaries 220. He's on uh I don't think you'll use Tao with him because Tao doesn't really no. You could maybe use him with Hit, although Hit has his own problems. He's sort of a dodge or die until you get later into the fight. This guy, we don't got to talk about this guy, and obviously these three are 200%. This guy's and these three are 200%, right? These three are all 200%. So I think really the top four, or first five rather, the top four, first five, you're really gonna be seeing this guy. You run him as elite, which means you have to run two of him. But if you're running two of him, his best team is obviously GT Heroes with Gogeta 4. So if you're running two of him and you have G4 on the team, there might be a clash because I think G4's active is contingent on GT Hero allies. So you might not want to run, especially this guy in base is not that great. And once he transforms, he does need to stack a little bit. Without his dodging, obviously. If he dodges, then he's goated. But if he doesn't dodge, then yeah. So running two characters that need to dodge or they might get cooked, especially two characters who need to stack in addition to this guy who you'll see he does need his stacks, is crazy. So I think you're better off running really these two. Honestly, really you want these two because I think running double of these guys and anything but festival is a little tricky depending on the team. So it really is these two, or under his own lead in the future potentially. So he infinitely stacks. So he gets 4 key damage reduction for 1 turn, another 3 key, and 30% damage reduction for 3 turns. So obviously this stacks. So for the first 7 turns, sorry, not the first 7. For the first 3 turns, he has 70% damage reduction and 7 key. He has guard. This caps at 400, right? So every attack, not every super attack, right? So he has every attack, which is good because we'll see for every attack received. So he wants to get hit. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a oh um yeah. So this is what people were talking about. He has 70% damage reduction, which is good, and he guards. But so does this Frieza, and he's not that great. Right? He's also a similar build up unit, but he's not that great. If you don't get supered before you can attack, I think he'll do fine. Even if you do get supered, I think you'll live, but you'll take a decent chunk of damage. Um, because he actually has a lower defense stat than Frieza. Does it show the stats here? But he had it does show the stats. Yeah, so he has 8,000 defense, which is a lower defense stat than Frieza, right? Frieza has a 10,000 defense stat, and his tanking is not that great. But yeah, again, he has 70% guard, and his damage reduction, by the way, is permanent. Broly's isn't, right? His guard is conditional, but of course he does have a build up here, for every attack performed. The critical hit is nice because this caps at 100%, so you just get guaranteed crits after a certain time. But this is the annoying part. A high chance is really annoying. We would like to see a great chance because you don't want him to. Okay, he does his super. Right. Then he goes, okay, up to 4 times. He does super, then normal, 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 super. Then you get the hidden potential system. But since that's a coin flip, that's a normal. You don't want him to normal 5 times. And while yes, he will be building up attack regardless. So on turn 3, he'll have like 40 million, right? Um, that's annoying. Um, this, however, is quite good. This is infinite, right? 30% attack and defense for every super attack the enemy launches at the character. So this combined with the fact that he nullifies it, right? So he still get this because it's launched. It's not hit. It's launched at. So he nullifies it. Attack was 260% accounting with tremendous power. I mean, I think okay. In the really tough fights, turn 1 slot 1, he might be a bit of a fish. He might be a bit of a fish unless they like super immediately and he gets his counter, right? Or his nullification, right? Whatever. I mean, it's a counter, right? Because there's an animation. Um, if that doesn't happen and the boss is like really really hard, like the Gohan boss, um, he might be a slot 2. He might be a slot 2 for the first turn, right? But that's part of the problem. He only has his 40% damage reduction for the first turn. On turn 3, when he comes back, I think he'll be much, much better, but he'll have lost his 40% damage reduction. I think the idea behind the unit, though, is that obviously he keeps getting stronger, right? He's stacking, right? He has this build up, he has this build up, he has this build up, right? He has attack after attack, right? Which means you could potentially super, right? You could potentially super, then get another 4 additional supers. You proc the hidden potential system, so he's doing 5 supers a turn, and he's stacking every time, right? And then he has this, and then he has this, right? So with a decent link set, right? He has Saiyan Warrior Race, Shocking Speed, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle. Berserker is still a dead link, unfortunately. The 50%, well, I mean, if they're gonna start having units that don't tank that well, turn 1 slot 1, Berserker, you can feel that 30% attack. You add that onto him, you add that onto him, you add that onto well, obviously that's a transform state. You add that onto him, you add that onto this guy. I still find some use here. I still think he's okay. This guy, by the way, is confirmed to get a super easy A. You add that onto him. Oh my goodness, you're cooking, right? Prepare for battle, legendary power. A decent assortment. Yeah, he's on gifted warriors, mission execution, which is why he's on Tao's thing. Super bosses, yeah. Uncontrollable power. Um, I'm saying if we get, let's say, if Daima comes at all this year, wow, this video is 20 minutes long. If Daima comes this year, we get a grade A power, say Pure Saiyans, or grade A power. well, I don't know what a Daima Goku would hypothetically lead here. I don't think he would lead any of these other categories, but a Grade A Power Pure Saiyans type thing. Daima Goku is on there. This guy is on there, right? You could really start cooking. And a reminder, he is on a team with Path of Power Kid Goku, who gives damage reduction support, right? So I'm interested to see how he performs in events going forward. I think he'll be okay. But yeah, I think turn one, slot one, he'll be a little iffy, but I think every turn after that, he should be fine, right? Because he still has his permanent guard. And by the time his damage reduction runs out, yeah, completely, it will run out completely. I think he'll be, I think he'll be okay because his raw stats, right? Like stacking, right? You have 400% defense here, 300% attack here, 30% per super here. Then he has a chance to counter. Um, then of course his active skill, by the way, turn three or his third turn because it's character's entry turn, right? He gets 60% defense, so that turn he'll be good as well, and he foresees the super attack, so you can purposely put him in front of the super attack, so you can proc this and this. I think he's good. I think Twitter's downplaying him a little too much. I think he's good. So that's gonna do it for us this time, mostly because this video is freaking 20 minutes long. I haven't recorded anything in a long while because I used to record off my old laptop, and it was really, really being a struggle even to record, like, forget gameplay videos. I could never do showcases because it was getting really, really difficult to do anything because it was such a bad laptop. I got a new PC last week. So yeah, now my videos aren't going to be dying immediately because I actually have a computer that can open more than 3 tabs at once. So that's going to do it for us this time. If you like the video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and all that jazz. My name is Luna, also known as Luna the Programmer, and I will catch you guys in that next one. Peace.